Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy is brought to you in part by Tom's Place. For the finest in men's fashion, Tom's Place will suit you. Located in Toronto at 190 Baldwin Street in the heart of Kensington Market. Or visit toms-place.com. This is Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. Listen, laugh, and learn.
What city actually sits in two different continents?
If you're happy and you know it, dance in the Yukon. Hi, I'm Nick. What?
And I'm Roy, and this week we scoured the internet to find out these useful, or should I say useless, tidbits just for you.
It's Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. Plus, we'll open up the mailbag, and in the news, you had one job.
Totally useless information. It's everything you never needed to know.
Throw away your totally useless GPS. It's time for geography. So get lost with Nick and Roy.
That's usually the sentiment, isn't it? Get lost. Welcome once again to another episode.
That's usually what women say to you, Nick.
Yeah, they then they come over to you, of course. Welcome once again. We are really thrilled this week to have a guest on that I spoke to. And if you search the internet and you go on YouTube and you check out Gurdeep from the Yukon, you'll see this sick gentleman dancing to music in the middle of the Yukon. It's really hilarious. It's amazing. And wait till you hear his powerful message that's coming up. But first, let's talk about...
It seemed so useless, we wanted him on the show.
That's right, exactly. And he was so thrilled. And he said, I'm so thrilled to be part of your show. I'm like, you have no idea. No idea whatsoever. What do you got? What's your geography tip for now?
As North America and South America move as continents to the west, the continent of North and South America, one continent, it moves 2 to 3 centimeters per year. That means every year the Pacific Ocean is getting smaller. In general, it's been moving 2 to 3 centimeters, but they're not sure whether it seems to be speeding up slightly. And so that's concerning, but the continent is shifting, the North American continent.
Are you incontinent? Or out of continent. So, as I mentioned, I have a very special guest. Gurdeep Pandher is Yukon-based. He's a Bhangra dance artist, and we'll talk about what Bhangra is all about. He does live in a small off-grid cabin in the wilderness near Lake Labarge. He creates these dance videos, Roy. Like if you go on YouTube, you'll check it out after the show. He dances in nature and outdoors, and he has these performances, and he even teaches people how to dance that bring people together. And so Gurdeep was my guest, just a few days ago.
Thank you, Nick. Thanks for having me. It's my honor to be here and also to connect with your listeners.
Well, you're a YouTube sensation, and I have to say that, and I don't mean to embarrass you. It's a sensation because it's very contagious. You sit there and you watch, and it's wonderful dancing and music, but it's more about your positive outlook on everything. Or if life doesn't if life throws you a whole bunch of negative things, you have a way to translate that into, you can turn it around and think of positive ways. Why do you feel that you have that power to make people feel better about life in general?
Power, or I can say insight, came through my own personal experiences.
Okay.
Like everyone else, I have my own experiences, like good or bad. I've seen life in which I have seen some pains, some tears, some negativity, and some other things. I mean, the downfall. That gave me this insight that positivity, being joyful, is actually a lot more than just having fun or seeking entertainment. Like true joy, seeking true joy means that you're finding your own balance despite what is going around in your world. If things are crashing, people are not happy with you, you have some problems, they may be financial, health, or family problems. We live in a world which is very much interconnected. We know that there are wars going on in this world. They also create an impact on us. We see like divisions in our society, polarization, people from different opinions, they don't like each other. I found that being joyful, like a true joyful, and positive in a constructive way, it's healing, it's grounding.
Well, that's just it. You said healing, and they say that laughter is the best medicine, and Roy and I try to provide as much entertainment as possible, but we try to make each other laugh because we know that we're having a good time, and we find out that our audience is in on that too, and it truly is a healing aspect of it, and we love doing because you feel great afterwards, right?
Yes, absolutely. A feel good, creating a feel good moment. I would say that these days is blessing. We are living, as I mentioned earlier, in such a world which is filled with so much negativity,
Yeah.
so much people clashing with each other. The news are filled with you're from media with so much, and you go to hospital, there are crowded lineups. Access to services is not easy. So there are so many ways, means which are adding stress in everyday life, and looks like that. We humans, we created technology to help us. We created so many things to help us so that our life is easier. But it seems that it is creating some other side too, that pressure, that stress, that anxiety, that always thinking about deadlines, always thinking of calendar, always thinking of keeping up with life. Uh, so you folks are creating moments of positivity, those feel good moments. I would say that that is blessing.
I'll have more with your interview with Gurdeep right after Roy's geography, but I'm telling you, he's really amazing. And wait till you find out how much running water he has going to his cabin. Hint, none.
Oh, wow. So he's really off the grid.
Yeah.
Yep, yep. You're off your gourd. He's off the grid.
Oh my God.
Here's my teaser.
Yes.
I'm going to get it right out there. Only one city sits on two continents, and it's in Turkey, and it is the city of Istanbul.
Oh.
The Bosphorus Straits runs directly through the middle of Istanbul. The Bosphorus Straits is what separates the continent of Europe and Asia. Istanbul is over 2,000 years old. There's 14 million people living in the city of Istanbul.
Let's go back to Gurdeep. Now, I asked him why dancing is the medium that he uses to send his positive feelings to his audience.
It's a good question. Like to spread positivity, to spread joy, I needed a medium. If you need to go somewhere, for example, you need to go to Vancouver, you need maybe a flight or a train or a bus or car or bike.
Comfortable shoes if you decide to walk. Yeah.
Yeah, if you decide to walk.
Yeah.
So in a similar way, in my quest for spreading positivity to reach to that destination, I chose this medium of dancing. I felt that dancing is a great way. It's a universal language. Everybody understands. When people see someone dancing, they smile. And also I've been a good dancer in my whole life too. That was another factor.
Just amazing, isn't it? Just a little bit of a dance, a little bit of music in the middle of the cold. Yeah. You'll feel good.
It was a good choice to pick music instead of sex videos.
That's right. Keeps him warm. And I'll ask him a little bit later on why he lives in the cold.
Alaska. He lives in Alaska?
No, he lives in Yukon, but I will.
Oh, I thought you said Alaska.
Well, Idaho. What was it? What did Tennessee, Idaho, Alaska?
Listen.
Yes.
It covers most of the earth, but only 007.007. I love that.
Okay.
0.007 can be readily used by humans. and that is water. Only 2.5% of the Earth's water is actually fresh water, and only 1% of that 2.5% is readily available for use. So, I'm no tree hugging hippie, but we better conserve on the water. So, showering together is a good idea, and groups is even better. Okay. This one I found very interesting. There is a cemetery in Ocra Core, North Carolina. It's on the Outer Banks of North Carolina. So now that you have that part of it.
Okay.
During World War II, a British ship was patrolling the East Coast near the Outer Banks of the Carolinas in the Atlantic Ocean. It was sunk by a German U-boat right off of our coast. It was torpedoed.
My boat?
And sunk. What was that?
My boat? U-boat.
No, U-boat.
U-boat. Okay.
Or Das Boot.
Das
Boot.
Das Boot. That's it.
Can't go wrong with the German, Nick.
Nope.
Okay, but anyway, this boat gets sunk. It's torpedoed by a German U-boat. All 37 crew members are dead at that point. And 4 of the 37 washed ashore onto the Carolina shores. The rest were all considered dead and missing. The people took the bodies and buried them in this Ocra Core, North Carolina cemetery on the Outer Banks. But because they were English soldiers, the land was leased in perpetuity forever to the government of England. So England owns this small little piece with 4 plots of land because their English soldiers are buried there.
Pretty cool. Excellent.
Yeah, see this? That's useless but cool.
Of course.
Nick and Roy will continue with totally useless information.
You won't see the engineer that slams the Nissan Rogue's door 13,920 times, or the corrosive chamber that simulates 15 years of life in 5 months, or the Rogue heat-baked for over 300 combined hours. What you will see is a vehicle that can take punch after punch and keep rolling. Nissan, #1 in new vehicle quality among mainstream brands by J.D. Power. We put it through the worst, so you get its best. For J.D. Power 2025 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2025 model year. Newer models may be shown.
We're back with totally useless information with Nick and Roy. Listen, laugh, and learn.
So as I continue my conversation with Gurdeep, the dancing Yukon guy, I'll call him, I asked him, well, why do you live in the cold Yukon?
Traveling brought me to the Yukon. I came to the Yukon as a tourist, and I loved the community. People were very welcoming. They invited me to their gatherings. It felt me like my village, small community. Yeah. Before moving to the Yukon, I lived in bigger cities in Canada, such as Vancouver, other places. I felt that creating deep connections with people, challenges of a big city, that it was not easy. But in the Yukon, in a small remote community, just forming friendships and connections and just being part of the community, it was more smoother, more organic. So I really liked the Yukon and decided to stay here. And it's been 12 years. I'm this place in the wilderness of the Yukon.
During the pandemic is when you really, really became popular because, everyone was stuck inside, right? They had all the shutdowns and everything else with the pandemic around the world. And so they were just entertaining themselves with movies and YouTube and everything else. And there you are dancing. And every day you had a video. And people would say, and I remember myself when I discovered it, like, wow, this guy's amazing, like every day. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, is that a green screen in the background? Is he really dancing in a studio? And no, you're actually up in the Yukon where it gets to like minus 40 degrees. And I'm thinking, this is how it became popular. Now, speaking of minus 40, it must get really, really cold up there.
Yes, yeah, minus 40. Actually, 2 or 3 days ago, it was minus 40 here. It touched minus 45, and with that wind chill, it was feeling like minus 55. It gets very, very cold. It's the reality of the north. It's the reality of the Yukon. I know that so many people they wanted to learn more about my videos. They even came to visit me personally,
They
and
did. Oh wow.
people came all the way from Toronto, and then even they wrote their reality some articles that no, these videos are actually real.
That was cool, Nick. That was a cool interview.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. You're listening to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. Thank you very much for joining us. 72 countries around the world and places like the Yukon. Everywhere you listen to us, you're really appreciated. We are all over Canada on the iHeartRadio Talk Network. We thank you very much for your support. We got a couple of...
And if you can't see right now, Nick and I are dancing.
No, that's... Yes, because it's so cold. I probably should have asked him. It's so cold up there. Maybe he's dancing just so that, is it a pee-pee dance?
He stays warm that way.
He stays warm that way.
Friction,
But
a little bit of chafing too, but whatever.
That's something different. But you know what? You know what I am right now? Ask me, what are you feeling right now? Ask me.
Nick, what are you feeling?
I'm feeling hungry.
Your weekly sweet and savory facts of totally useless information with Nick and Roy. Come and get it!
So I don't know if you ever had, or anyone in the audience, have you ever had fruit gum, the striped fruit gum?
Was it Wrigley's or
no? No, it wasn't. It was actually the Ferrara Candy Company, and it was the fruit.
It had like a horse picture on it.
It had actually. It was a zebra.
A zebra. Nah, there you go.
Their mascot, Yipes, Yipes, the zebra.
Ooh, didn't know that either.
There you go. Useless information. Now, unfortunately, they're discontinuing the fruit stripe gum.
No.
It's been around since 1969. The decision to sunset the product, according to the owners, was not taken lightly, and they said they considered many factors before coming to the decision, but including, different patterns and whatnot. But, it's the overall, the trends have changed in terms of people chewing gum. Now, if you remember, they came in 5 flavors: Wet and Wild Melon, which sounds like your love life in high school, Cherry, Lemon, Orange, and Peach Smash. 54 years ago, Fruit Stripe was invented by James Parker and was first sold by the Beech Nut Company. Over the years...
that's what it was, Beech Nut. They had the peppermint and the fruit gum.
There you go. And over the years, the candy gum brand changed ownership a few times, but now the only true owner is our collective memory.
Wow. So my first thing is to tell people an experience that I had with my wife.
What?
Who, by the way, 40 years married.
Congratulations on 40 years.
Thank you.
As we discovered, the gift to give somebody 40 years is Ruby, and it has to be on a Tuesday.
Yes. And boy, was she upset when she came home and found Ruby in the bed.
So wait a minute. So you started by saying you're sharing something with your wife. Is this, this
I was like, she's for you too. Plus, we're going to conserve water later.
Yeah. Anyway, so let me finish something, though. So I started to say that years ago, I had a college radio show. So Roy and I have been friends since high school. And so I had a radio show. College radio was the Mr. Nick program on 59 WLEX at Hunter College.
59 WLEX, Bellwood, Altoona, Pennsylvania.
So now here's what happened. So no, it was in New York. That was something different in my vast radio career. So there was if you remember, it was the early 80s, there was a water shortage in New York. And so we had these characters on the show, and one day we'll share them in our newsletter. But we had these characters. One of them was Schrangerhooten. I don't know where that name came from. But we gave the audience advice on how to conserve water. And we said, how do you do that? Take a shower with a friend. And so that was
the best way to do it.
Exactly. So what?
Get ready for this one. And I have not discussed this with Nick.
Oh.
We went out to a restaurant called the 41 Restaurant.
Okay.
It helps that it's on Route 41. But anyway.
On your 40th wedding anniversary. Okay, sure.
Yeah, exactly. We're optimistically looking for one more year.
Okay.
But anyway, so we go to the 41 Restaurant, and we're giving it a try because it's a rather new place. Mm-hmm. And we go in, and by the way, the food was delicious. It was fantastic. No plug for them, but it was really good.
Okay.
But this is the best. We thought we were on like Candid Camera. We sit down. They give us menus. They said they'll come back for a drink order. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, comes a robot.
Yeah.
Now the robot passes us. It's got all food attached like to this little cart thing that it has, and the food is on there. And it goes over to a table and it says to the table, please stand by, your food is being delivered. Okay. And the waitress then comes out, takes the food from the robot cart, and then puts it on the table. But as she takes a dish off, the robot is explaining what it is.
Wow.
And so, listen, and then our food came. The robot got a little perplexed and went to the wrong table.
I hate when that happens.
And was beginning to speak to empty chairs. But so they got to get some bugs out of the robot. But the robot's name was Bella. Bella the robot. Bella said, oh, good evening. Your food is here. And then it said, you have chicken parmesan. It even explained my side had garlic and oil instead of sauce. That's so great. But Bella the robot literally served us at a restaurant, and it was so cool. Just wanted to bring that up. Go ahead.
So this is Route 41 in Florida. Roy is in the Fort Myers area of Florida. I'm up here in Toronto, Canada, a little further south than the Yukon. It's a little warmer
Just
than the
a bit.
Yukon. Just a tad. Now, what wine you drink says a lot about you. There was a poll conducted by the Barefoot Wine Company, and it was in honor of National Wine Day, and that it happens to be on May 25th. So write that on your calendar. May 25th. The
Why? No, go ahead.
Not that kind of whining. Now, so they found that on average, these participants in this survey say that they have an average of 5 glasses of wine a week. Now, so they wanted to find out the different personalities based on what they drink. For example, at parties, those who enjoy sparkling wine was 26%. 23% enjoyed red wine. And they're likely to be, as they put it, quiet observers. Okay, just sit in the corner, drink your wine. Rosé drinkers are party planners, and enjoyers of white wine say they can be found taking pictures or being the life of the party.
Really?
And also those people who drink white wine say they're also indoor people, while red wine drinkers enjoy the outdoors, according to this survey by Barefoot Wine. And finally, this may be why red wine drinkers are likeliest to be early birds, and those who prefer rosé and white wines are night owls.
Nick and Roy will continue with totally useless information.
Nick and Roy for Tom's Place. Tom's Place is fully stocked. In fact, they have huge amounts of inventory. They need to be moved. The deals are amazing. Simply, the prices are lower than ever before in the 60-year-plus history of Tom's Place.
Door Crasher selected shirts, now only $50. Some first floor knockout deals, scarves, regularly $75. These are beautiful imported scarves, now $25. Or get ready, 3 for $50. 3 for $50. You're talking about $75 scarves, 3 of them for $50.
That's amazing.
You have other designer suits up to size 48, regularly priced $650. Get ready, 1 for $350 or two for $600. 2 suits cheaper than the price of the actual 1 suit.
Now, I'll tell you this. You have until January 28th, so time is running out. They're open for business. Tom's Place, more importantly, is on sale each and every day. Call Tom's Place at 416-596-0297 or check out their website, toms-place.com, for details about their specials, or go to our website, nickandroy.com, and click on the Tom's Place logo.
And if you miss the sale, don't worry. Use the information we gave you to call Tom's Place and find out what sales they're doing that week. Go down to Tom's Place. You will be glad you did.
190 Baldwin Street in the heart of Kensington Market. And once again, visit their website, toms-place.com. toms-place.com. Tom's Place will suit you. Let them show you how.
You won't see the engineer that slams the Nissan Rogue's door 13,920 times, or the corrosive chamber that simulates 15 years of life in 5 months, or the Rogue heat-baked for over 300 combined hours. What you will see is a vehicle that can take punch after punch and keep rolling. Nissan, #1 in new vehicle quality among mainstream brands by J.D. Power. We put it through the worst, so you get its best. For JD Power 2025 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2025 model year. Newer models may be shown.
We're back with totally useless information with Nick and Roy. Listen, laugh, and learn.
So as I continue my conversation with Gurdeep, the dancing Yukon guy, I'll call him, I am so absolutely thrilled again to have you, Gurdeep Pandher, on our show. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Nick, for your kind and beautiful words. I'm really touched and honored by hearing them. Thank you for connecting me with your listeners. I'm hoping that whoever is listening to this interview, they will take this message to find a little bit of joy in their lives. It's very hard to find these days. All I would like to say that joy is healing. When you treat joy like healing process, it shifts the mindset. Then we take it differently, not only find your joy, also share it with the world, even with the strangers. Even someone is upset or angry, in their core, they're looking for joy, but they don't have any ways or means to be on that path. And if you share your joy with them, probably it'll help them. Being joyful is truly a wonderful gift. Make it, share it, and just be an awesome. Thank you, Nick.
Thank you. And if I'm not a doctor, but I will prescribe this. It is the best medicine, Gurdeep.ca. Thank you for joining us today. Have a wonderful day.
You as well, Nick. Have a great day.
That was cool, Nick. That was a cool interview.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much.
Dark chocolate. You like that too, Nick? Delusions of grandeur? That's
Yes.
a $10 phrase.
Yeah.
Okay, dark chocolate is made from the roasted beans of the cacao tree.
Oh.
That's how we get coca, but cacao is the tree. It tastes great, of course, as we all know, and in some cases has half the sugar of milk chocolate. Okay, and with the greater percentage of coca, the less sugar. So if you get like a 90% dark chocolate, even diabetics like myself can enjoy dark chocolate.
Right.
This particular tribe that was isolated again, their heart rates were better than the average person in the area. They had less chance of cancer, and they had lower diabetes rates. The tribe was 20 women in Beverly Hills. No, I'm joking.
I was wondering, wait a minute, where?
Just sitting there eating chocolate.
Wow, I believed you there for a
By the
quick
way,
minute.
too, if you get a dark chocolate bar that's 70% coca, it has more caffeine in it than a cup of coffee.
But you're saying that they roast the vanilla beans, so they don't grow dark chocolate.
No, you said vanilla beans. No.
I mean chocolate beans or whatever beans.
It's the beans from the cacao
Right.
tree, which are roasted and then ground up into coca powder, which then becomes chocolate.
Well, you know where milk chocolate comes from? A stuttering cacao. Just came up with that
Something
joke.
was coming. You couldn't leave it alone, could you? As Nick runs around with a chocolate bar and a loincloth.
Yeah, come on. That's a great joke. Think about it. Where do you get milk chocolate from? A stuttering cacao. Thank you. Okay. But that's interesting. Okay, that's right. And I have heard that there are many benefits of dark chocolate. You know, if you're going to have chocolate,
Yes.
dark chocolate is usually the best. And the higher percentage of the cacao, as you say, you know, I can't think of it without a stuttering cow. But the higher the percentage, the healthier it is for you. Hey, just call me Sue.
Uh-oh, okay. So,
What was the Johnny Cash song? Oh, A Boy Named Sue. So you're a chef. You're a trained chef. You have your papers.
mhm.
Okay. Someone asked me, "What is a sous chef?" And I said, "Well, what a great question." So I hear that you hear the term all the time on cooking shows. It's the sous chef, right? The sous is basically a French word for under or beneath. So basically,
Beneath the main chef. Yeah, the
That's
head
right.
chef is the...
right, a chef is also French, meaning chief, head, or commander. So the term is defined in the United States as head cook. Sous chef means deputy head or deputy commander, but we use it exclusively as the title given to an assistant to a restaurant or hotel chef.
Depending upon how large the kitchen is, you can also have a line cook who is under the sous chef,
Right.
which gets a little bit, dicey when you have three people stacked on top of each other,
Right.
Okay, nectarines.
Yes.
Originated, where do you think nectarines come from?
California.
China, 4,000 years ago.
Wow.
So, folks, get your pen, write that down.
Uh-huh.
4,000 years ago, nectarines originated in China. The name means nectar, sweet nectar. That's how they translated the name. Nectarines. They're amazing. I love nectarines. You?
Yeah, they're delicious. Love them.
Yeah. Okay. They're extremely high in vitamin C and vitamin A, and they're loaded with antioxidants and may even help with weight loss, lowering blood pressure, and bringing up your immunity. I would assume because of the vitamin C and vitamin A.
Of course.
But nectarines are not only good for you, they are tasty. They are the sweet as nectar.
Very nice. I love that one. See, I learned something. That's why we say on our show, Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. You listen,
Might
laugh.
be useless, but you're going to learn stuff.
Listen, laugh, and learn. Absolutely. We'll stay in the kitchen. Why is pasta called puttanesca? Have you served puttanesca pasta? Have you ever had puttanesca pasta?
It's pasta with olives.
It's an easy sauce, briefly cooked with a very fragrant and quite spicy, and sometimes it depends on your tolerance for spices. And yes, made with tomatoes, black olives. It's almost like you knew that. Capers, anchovies, onions, garlic, and herbs, usually oregano and sometimes basil. Now, puttanesca translate as in the style of the whore. The name derives from the Italian word puttana, which means whore. Puttana, in turn, arises from the Latin word putida, which means stinking. Now, I bet you're wondering, why this tasty dish is associated with such a profession, right? So the first interpretation is the intense aroma, right? Which would lure men from the street into the local house of ill repute.
Like a whore.
Exactly. And then another account of where the name comes from is all hinges on the fact that puttanesca sauce is easy and quick to make, and because the prostitutes made it for themselves and because it was quick and easy, it kept the interruption from the businessmen to a minimum. You're listening to Totally Useless Information with Nick and
Wait a second.
What?
Hold on. I have one more.
Oh, yeah, I was just reminding the audience what they're listening to, just in case they
we'll
wanted
cut
to
that out.
cleanse their palate after the puttanesca. You're listening to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. We're talking about food.
Chickpeas and almonds. If you're a vegetarian, when I say the word chickpeas and almonds, you know exactly what I'm saying. Because vegetarians have a problem. They don't get enough protein. So they have to search for protein. So chickpeas, olives, and now a lot of soy products are loaded with proteins. In fact, chickpeas and almonds have more protein than meat. And almost the same exact protein as red meat. So for instance, if you got a little bit of hummus and some crackers and so on, you're getting the same protein as eating a steak.
I'm going to have a steak for dinner when we're done here today as we're recording.
I took out steak too, Nick. And I'll tell you the truth, I love hummus.
Do you? Okay, so
it's got to be made right though. It's not that crap you get in the store.
No,
that's paste.
You have to make it in your own food blender, right? Food processor.
Yeah. You throw chickpeas, some garlic, a little tahini, which is sesame seed, ground up sesame seeds in oil, a little bit of oil, and boom. Yeah.
Nice.
Good to go.
I like it. If you go to our website, nickandroy.com, you can check out the Nick and Roy store. Tell them, Roy, why they need to go to the Nick and Roy store.
You need to go to the Nick and Roy store for a number of reasons. Number one, you can listen to all the episodes. You can binge listen. You go to the Nick and Roy store and you go to birthday messages. Click on it. If you have somebody that you say, I don't know what to get them, You get them a birthday message. We do different messages, of course, and you can hear them. Click on it. It is the best gift ever. It's inexpensive. It's fantastic.
Check it out. nickandroy.com.
You're listening to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. Listen, laugh, and learn.
Thank you for joining us. There are many ways that you can get in touch with us. At nickandroy.com is one way. You can click on Contact Us to send us an email, of course, and you can also send us a text at 71010. You're listening to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy.
You won't see the engineer that slams the Nissan Rogue's door 13,920 times, or the corrosive chamber that simulates 15 years of life in 5 months, or the Rogue heat-baked for over 300 combined hours. What you will see is a vehicle that can take punch after punch and keep rolling. Nissan, #1 in new vehicle quality among mainstream brands by J.D. Power. We put it through the worst, so you get its best. For J.D. Power 2025 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2025 model year. Newer models may be shown.
Step right up here. Step right up, folks. Don't be shy. Move it. Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy present Games People Play.
Do you remember playing the game Duck Hunt?
Yes.
Okay.
I love that game.
The Duck Hunt
And
dog.
the ducks would go, they would spin around when you shot them.
Did you know what the name of the dog was?
No.
The dog's name is officially known as Hunt.
No.
That's right.
That's
And,
not cool.
and if you remember, the secret of the Duck Hunt game is that the Duck Hunt had like this light gun that worked. It was like flashing on the screen. So the way it worked was by flashing the screen and detecting where you were aiming based on the timing of the flash. That's how the game knew where you were pointing at and whether or not you got the duck or not. Pretty
Wow,
interesting.
that was a fun game.
Yeah.
Those were cool games back then because we were so naive to the technology that we were just excited to see it. It was like, wow, this is great.
We still are.
You know the game Clue?
I didn't have a clue, but go on.
Well, the game Clue has a character or piece character, in the game called Mr. Green.
Yeah.
Well, originally the game comes from Britain, but in 1948, it was released in the United States by Parker Brothers to the U.S. market, the game Clue. They said, ooh, we love this game and we love this British version of it, but I think we're going to insult people because Mr. Green was not called Mr. Green. No, he was Reverend Green.
Oh, dun, dun, dun.
And Parker Brothers said, ooh, I don't know how people are going to feel about a reverend that might be murdering people. So they changed his name to Mr. Green.
There you go. Have you ever played the game Q*bert with the little boxes?
No, but I've heard of it.
My dad was just a fanatic with that game. Like he would spend hours and hours. Now, in the classic arcade game Q*bert, which was in 1982 when it first came out, the game's developers included a profanity filter. And what it did was it prevented players from entering inappropriate initials. And if you tried, it would replace them with symbols.
It's taken my wife 40 years to get a profanity filter.
Thank you very much for listening to us here on Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. Hey, if you want to send us an email, we made it so simple for you. Even we did it. You go to nickandroy.com and click on Contact Us.
What's in the mailbag? What's in the mail?
My mailbag comes from Vancouver, British Columbia in Canada on the West Coast. And this is from Francis. Dear Nick and Roy, we consider ourselves super fans. Oh, wow. Okay. We love your show on the radio and on your podcast. We love your website. And she writes nickandroy.com. Yeah, she drank the Kool-Aid. nickandroy.com. We love your birthday message service and, of course, your newsletter. Keep it up. Okay, there you go. There's a super fan. She knows we're on the radio. She knows we have a podcast. She knows we have a website, nickandroy.com. She knows we have a Nick and Roy store where you can order a birthday message and, of course, the newsletter. Wow. Here's my question. My daughter celebrated a birthday recently, and she told us that she does not want any cake for her birthday. Who doesn't want cake on her birthday? It had me wondering, she says. It had me wondering, why do we have cake on our birthday? And thanks for the laughs. Well, Francis, is a great question. So the ancient Egyptians are credited for inventing the concept of celebrating a birthday. So thanks to the ancient Egyptians, they're the reason, they're responsible for us, Nick and Roy, to have the Nick and Roy birthday message at nickandroy.com. So thank you to the ancient Egyptians, right?
It's an Egyptian thing.
But the ancient Greeks took that and added a sweet to their birthday parties. They reportedly made moon-shaped pies to honor Artemis and added candles to make the cakes glow like the moon. But in modern mainstream culture, the tradition became popular around the Industrial Revolution when ingredients were easier to find to make that cake.
And just like the Pac-Man, it was easier to make a circle.
That's right. You go. On the show today, we talked about geography. We talked about to a really amazing guy, Gurdeep from the Yukon. Check out his YouTube channel or go to his website, gurdeep.ca. We talked about food. We talked about games. It's time for the news.
And now, from around the corner and around the world, this is TUI News.
Jessica from Buffalo, New York, known online as Lynn J. Goat, had her parents over to see the grandchild, and they all wanted an easygoing family dinner, so it was the responsibility of her husband, Chris, to use one of those food delivery apps to order what Jessica recalled as just a few burgers and 2 10-piece McNugget orders. Okay?
Mm-hmm. So we know where they're ordering from.
Okay. And then when they got to it, she goes, oh, wow, this is expensive. But I was like, okay, well, who knows, whatever. So neither one thought something was amiss when their delivery driver texted them about the long wait, saying that the order was being specially made. And they're thinking, wow, this is great, fresh food from the establishment that sells McNuggets. So she was shocked to see 200 chicken McNuggets showed up. And they thought it was a prank. So after seeing all this massive number of chicken nuggets, her husband thought, wait a minute. He was thinking, hold on. He was ordering the chicken nuggets, but he was adding in each chicken nugget individually on the app. So instead of ordering 10 packets of 10 chicken nuggets, he was ordering 20 packets of 10 of chicken McNuggets.
Oh, my God. What was his name?
Chris,
you might want to listen to the show a little bit. You get a little bit of information, your brain starts to swell, and you won't do stupid things anymore. So did they pay for the chicken McNuggets?
They paid them all. They did, but because they figured, well, this is such a high amount of money, but they paid for it. But Jessica was quick to joke that Chris clearly doesn't have any detail-oriented sense in his brain. And adding that...
see, told you. Very small brain. Chris.
Yeah, but the thing is, she wasn't paying any attention either. She's like, yeah, whatever. Anyway, ultimately, the family... Now, here's the cool part of all this story. The family decided to pack up the over orders and bring it to a nearby shelter where homeless people were living.
How nice.
While the food was still warm and fresh. So those homeless people were really, really happy, and it turned out to be really, really awesome. So thank you, Jessica. And Chris now is...
Good thing they weren't ordering like footlongs. They would have got 200 footlongs.
That's right. And you know what? Because every order of these chicken nuggets come with a dip. I think we know who the dip was, and his name was Chris.
Exactly. And all the homeless in that particular area. And it's so funny, too, that maybe she knows Carol from Buffalo, New York. But all the homeless in Buffalo, New York are like, let Chris order.
That's right. Hey, here's how you can order more Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. Join us next week. And we'll be back as we scour the internet and check out more Totally Useless Information just for you.
And until then, if you want to listen to more shows, go to nickandroy.com and click on every episode, over 200 to listen to, and you will get smart.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Roy.
Thanks for listening.
Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy was brought to you in part by Tom's Place. For the finest in men's fashion, Tom's Place will suit you. Located in Toronto at 190 Baldwin Street in the heart of Kensington Market. Or visit toms-place.com.